Talks with Heavenly. Okay, so the last time we did a Talks with Heavenly, you guys voted on why don't you do shows anymore? Okay. Um. Okay, so there's actually a lot of reasons why I don't do shows anymore, and I'm gonna try my best not to name local entertainers in this video because I just don't want to deal with it, and that's another reason why I quit. It's not a matter of if you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, then why are you in here type thing. However that saying goes. Um, it's not. It's not a matter of that. It's just okay. So, little back history. Okay, so I technically started doing drag when I was 13 years old, and I technically started doing drag when I was 13, and even then, I was met with a lot of criticism and opposition from a lot of entertainers in the entertainment industry, particularly here in Oklahoma. I, you know, I've worked in other states where entertainment there is amazing, and I am met with complete acceptance and open-mindedness. And I will admit that when I first started doing drag and I was 13 years old, I was a drama queen. I would say and do things that were probably very inappropriate and things that I shouldn't have done. I mean, I was 13. But as I got older, nothing changed. Like, I changed and I became more professional, and I started, doing shows in other states and, working at other, local bars and other, states and stuff like that. But, the entertainers in Oklahoma did not see me any differently, because I'm not a part of the pageant lifestyle. I don't, I've worked behind the scenes in pageants where I've done makeup, I've done dressing, I've done hair, I've done that stuff for pageants, and I've worked in pageants. But I'm not a part of the pageant lifestyle. And so I've been met with a lot of, oh, well, Heavenly doesn't do pageants because she thinks she's better than everybody else. No, I don't do pageants because they're not for me. Period. They're not for me. And a lot of the reason why I say that is because I don't need a title and a crown on my head, to elevate myself to what it means to be a showgirl, or an entertainer and everything. So, and what I mean by crown or title is like, Miss Gay America, Miss, Mr. and Mrs. Gay US of A at large, or Miss, Oklahoma US of A, or Miss Oklahoma, like Miss Gay Oklahoma, or Miss Gay Oklahoma US of A, or, just, pageants that local drag entertainers do that are kind of like, Miss America or Miss Universe or something, something like that. So there's the heterosexual pageants, and then there's also the LGBT pageants. And the queens that are in the LGBT pageants, there's nothing wrong with them. I'm still friends with several of them. But a lot of the pageant girls are very cookie cutter. So like there comes a time where you kind of have to learn to evolve as an entertainer. And when you don't evolve as an entertainer, then you come to this wall that's like either you quit doing what you're doing, or you either have to evolve and do something else. And there's a lot of entertainers that will evolve, and they will go on to bigger and better things, or they'll do different things or different styles of drag, and that's their thing. For me, I was a big time goth queen. I always did rock music and rock style music, and I did songs that were not top 40. And a lot of the queens here in Oklahoma do a lot of top 40, and it's a lot of repeat. It's a lot of repetitive. Yeah, it's a lot of that. And so there's only so many times you can hear the same song in the same week over and over and over again by either the same entertainer or by the different entertainer. And I always, when I would make my costumes, I would do things that were different. I would do latex, PVC, I would do, black rubber, I would do, a lot of crazy stuff on stage. Like I would do hot wax, I would do, a lot of crazy things on stage, Marilyn Manson impersonations. I would do a lot of things. And so, there was I was met with a lot of being ostracized in a sense. It was literally near to impossible for me to make really close friends in the drag industry, especially in Oklahoma. And a lot of the entertainers here don't see me as equal, and that's perfectly fine because my goal is not to be equal to them. My goal is to be an entertainer, entertain the crowd, give them shock value, and just have fun with it. And a lot of entertainers met me with a lot of opposition, and a lot of them would say that I was a drama starter, that I, talked a lot of crap. And the honest truth to the situation is that it's like, if I'm a loner and I'm on my own because nobody else wants to have a conversation with me, because they don't see me as their equal, or they see me as strange or weird, immediately you become the scapegoat, where everybody wants drama and everybody wants some type of form of tea. And so basically, my name is brought up in a lot of scenarios. So it's kind of like, wait a minute, like, put two and two together. Like, I don't even speak to you, and you're telling me that I supposedly said this? That doesn't make any sense. So there's a lot of the reason why I quit doing shows as of 3 years ago was because of a lot of drama that happened between me and several other entertainers, and some falsified stuff that had happened that resulted in me getting banned from a bar, that later on ended up getting shut down. And basically, it was a complete, how do I word this correct? It was a complete shit show. In other words, like, literally, it was a few queens that decided, oh, let's hop on Photoshop, make up some fake text message, let's put Heavenly's phone number on it and her name, and send it to the bar owner, and basically freak them out and have them ban me. And so that's where it kind of went down from there. So there's always this one Pacific queen that I've known since I was 15 years old. I've known this queen for like ever. And I mean, I've known her biological name, I know her trans name, I know everything about her. Like, her and I used to be real close. Like, we used to be real best buds. And now we don't talk anymore. We haven't spoken in years. And every single time there is a form of drama that happens and my name happens to be mentioned, I could be out of town. And I could be working, doing shows. I could be, at my apartment. I could be out with my friends. I could be shopping, doing this, doing that. And I will get a phone call saying, Heavenly, are you seeing what's going on Facebook? And I'm like, no, because I don't care. And next thing you know, I'm receiving screenshots from hundreds of people saying this and this and this is what's being said. And I'm like, I don't care. But it makes no difference and everything, because when you live your life publicly, eventually everything kind of like gets back to you, and it's kind of like, are you kidding me? But no, so when that scenario went down, it became this entire, Mean Girls scenario where I'm kind of stuck in the middle and I have nobody that's listening to me. And it just got to that point to where, my mental health and my depression, anxiety, and everything else that was going on with me at the time, I just literally could not deal with it. It just got to the point to where I was like, that's it. I'm retiring my wigs. I'm retiring my heels. I'm retiring my drag. I'm done. Like, I can't do it anymore. And if I do any shows, it will not be in the state of Oklahoma, because this state is not worth my time. And the thing about it is that we have a place here in Oklahoma called the Oklahomans for Equality Center, and it's an LGBT center, and there's a few people inside that center that I've had very long conversations with that tell me a lot of things, that there's a lot of entertainers in the state of Oklahoma that just don't get what it means to be an entertainer. Because for me to be an entertainer, it means that you are representing a genre of people all the way from Stonewall, to the club kids, to, everything that has happened in history, in LGBT history, that a drag queen has been involved in. You are representing those people. And so I take it with such great pride and with such great history, like Divine. Divine was one of the very first famous drag queens before RuPaul was even around. And most people know who she is, but don't know her story. I mean, Divine had albums of music that was coming out at the time and was in mainstream movies and TV shows before RuPaul even existed and everything. So, like, there is a huge history there, and a lot of queens don't get that. Like, they love doing drag, but they don't understand what the backstory of what it means to be a drag entertainer, what it means to bring a message to the audience and to the people around you and to motivate people. Drag queens were that kind of thing that was like a comical scenario where you would, it would start like a march, that's how it was. Like, the drag queens were kind of like, Red Nose, the reindeer at the very front end of the line, like, that's what it was. But other than that, like, I just don't do shows anymore because of the drama. Like, I cannot handle, the drama. Like, it is ridiculous. Like, I mean, it is extremely ridiculous. Like, I am one entertainer out of probably a few hundred entertainers in the state of Oklahoma that has performed in large pageants without a title. Usually in the LGBT pageants, you are not allowed to perform in these pageants unless you have a current existing or past existing title, pageant title, to be a performer in those pageants. And I've worked in pageants before where I was a performer and I never even had a title. And that is something big, because that means that the owner of that pageant title sees you as a really good entertainer and is wanting you to be seen by people. And when and I'm not boasting, but what I'm saying is that there's a huge thing there. Like, I mean, I've worked in some of the best clubs that I can ever, being 13 years old, if I were to go back and tell myself, you're going to be working at the Rose Room in Dallas, Texas, you're going to be invited to take and go, out to all these other places all around the U.S. and take and do shows, and you're going to get paid literally more money than most queens do. I mean, I've worked for nudist colonies before, where I hosted drag queen bingo for a nudist colony, and like, that was probably one of the best experiences. And it was probably a really good experience, but it was really it was eye-opening, but it was a really fun experience. Like, I mean, I've been invited to do drag shows at colleges. I've been invited to teach makeup classes at at colleges and schools and stuff for cosmetology, all different kinds of stuff. And it's kind of, it's when you think about it, it's really sad, and it's also kind of depressing, because drag was a huge portion of my life. Technically, if I was still doing drag to this day, I would have been doing drag for 13 years. 13 years, and that would be literally every single Wednesday through Sunday. I would be doing drag shows from like 11 o'clock at night to almost 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. Like, I mean, that was my life for the better part of most of my life. And so, and I adore it. I love it, and I have a lot of respect for it. But other people like to just, they destroyed it for me, because it became a thing where a lot of people, basically they just, like, they really just made it feel like, is this worth it anymore? Because for me, I wanted to stop doing drag at a time where I was not successful enough, but where I was happy enough that I felt like I succeeded at doing everything that I wanted to do, and that I could mentor others in doing it as well. And it got to that point to where I could do that, and then it was just kind of like ripped away from me. And even knowing I could still technically mentor people in what it means to be a drag entertainer and to be a drag queen, and the things that you need to know about it, and how to be a good entertainer and how to excel as an entertainer, It's difficult when your rap sheet is literally made up of nothing but rumors, lies, and rumors and lies, because the people that are either jealous of you or just periodly just don't like you, mainly also probably due to the fact that I am like completely honest. Like, I am extremely honest. Like, I will tell you, if you ask me my opinion, I will tell you. And the reason I'm like that is because when I was growing up, the mentor that I had, she was really bluntly honest with me. And I would have never been the entertainer that I was if it wasn't for somebody being straight up and honest with me. Because she helped me grow as a person and as an entertainer and helped me be professional. And so when other people hear me be honest to them and they get offended, it's like, you asked me for my opinion. Like, don't get offended. Like, take it and grow from it. It's constructive criticism and everything. I'm not meaning it in a harsh manner, but whatever. But anyways, yeah, so that's pretty much the reason why I don't do shows anymore. It's just because of the drama and people's BS. I'm so over entertainers in Oklahoma. Like, I haven't even been out to a nightclub in like 2.5 years. And personally, my sleeping schedule, my health, and my stress level is so much lower compared to what it used to be. But I do miss traveling. I miss being on the road, and I miss meeting new people and shocking the audience and just having the dramaticness of it. I do miss that. But, maybe I should do my drag makeup for you guys sometime. I haven't done my drag makeup in like 3 years, so that'll be interesting. But anyways, I love you guys, and I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Please make sure to go up there to the top, vote on the next question for Talks with Heavenly, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.